What's the culture at Goldman Sachs actually like? Today, I'm going to share what the culture is like at Goldman Sachs based on my own personal experience in the investment banking division in the TMT group in San Francisco. Hi, if we haven't met, I'm Peter Suit. I'm a former investment banker at Goldman Sachs and venture capitalist in SF. Beyond deal flow, the people, the culture really is what sets one firm apart from another firm. Looking back, Goldman's culture is something special and unique, but it's not for everyone. Today, I'm going to share my top 5 pros.
Yes.
And my top 5 cons of Goldman Sachs's culture so that you can decide if this is a place you want to work at or not.
Top 5 pros.
1. World-class people. One of my favorite aspects of Goldman's culture was the people, and the people I worked with really were world-class in a couple of different ways. Quantitatively, if you look at the numbers, out of all the 300,000 plus people that applied to Goldman every year to be a summer intern, less than 1% of those people get accepted. Compare that to Harvard's roughly 3% acceptance rate or Oxford's 14% acceptance rate. As you can imagine, anyone that passes through that filter is generally the best at what they do. In my office, there were a lot of people from Berkeley, some from Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, etc. You really are surrounded by some of the smartest, most hardworking people. Qualitatively, the people I worked with generally were really good people, just good, honest people. When you get to be a part of that team, contribute, learn from all these people, become friends with people, it's really a beautiful thing. Professionally, I'd say a lot of the people I worked with in that Goldman office have gone on to do amazing things, like become the CFO of Twitter, COO of DoorDash, become general partners at the top multi-billion-dollar private equity, growth equity, venture capital funds. And personally, I've made a few lifelong friends where we still karaoke every once in a while, and I've been a groomsman in their wedding, etc. 2. Teamwork. Everyone always talks about teamwork at all the banks on their website, all their copy on all the info sessions. But I would say Goldman really did value teamwork. When you're working in your own individual deal team, analyst, associate, VP, MD, all the roles are very defined and you work together to make these presentations, the analysis, the modeling, so that a client can decide if they want to sell their company for $10 billion or $20 billion. The teamwork really is real there. A specific example of this would be when I was working on an IPO and I needed market updates slides on the valuation trends. I could send an email to all of ECM in TMT across the Americas. It would blast out to everybody in that group. I would be asking them for slides and someone would usually help me like right away and I could put that in my deck. For another IPO, if our deal team needed to know about the IPO tech window, how long it was going to stay open, how were investors valuing, say, our semiconductor company given the current market conditions, we could hop on a call with the tech ECM MD and he would give us all the color on what was happening live. Or one time when I was working on LBO, I could reach out to the leverage finance team and they would help me with all the current interest rates, the loan terms that I could then pop into my model to model out the LBO returns. 3, professional. One of the coolest things I experienced at Goldman was how everyone was extremely smart, extremely hardworking, and the stakes were super high, but everyone was always professional. Everyone was always polite. I would hear stories at other firms where my friend's MD would yell at him, people would go crazy, ballistic, at office parties, people would be throwing dwarves, things like that, just ridiculous stories. I never saw anything like that at Goldman. No one ever threw a pitch book at me. No one ever really yelled at me. Generally, everyone managed their emotions well and stayed professional, even under really intense situations. For example, one time I had 2 conflicting projects, just like the higher view question. I had to give some analysis within the hour to a VP, but then another project came in and asked me for stuff. So I dropped the ball on the analysis for the VP and he was angry for sure, but he came out and he told me, hey, you need to manage upwards better. So I took that feedback and going forward, those 2 projects went a lot more smoothly. If you're enjoying this career advice from my own experience, definitely click subscribe. 4, frugal. Something that really defines Goldman for me is the frugality, and I think it's a really good thing actually. Goldman is notorious for being more frugal and more long-term greedy. For example, the old headquarters 85 Broad is just a simple, almost ugly, stoic, Spartan-like building. It's no flash, just cash. And one year when there was a bad market downturn, we had our holiday party in the conference room on the 42nd floor, and we had specialty sandwiches and cookies brought in. I thought it was really sad because usually our last holiday party the year before was at the top of a roof of a really beautiful building in SF. I really respect how Goldman wasn't wasting money. They were very practical, very resourceful so that they could build long-term wealth for their clients, but also everyone that worked there. 5, humble. So one thing I liked about Goldman was everyone was at the top of their game, but everyone also kept it low-key, generally very humble. I remember the head of the TMT group at Goldman. He's a guy that everyone loved, respected. I remember working on this pitch pitch to Microsoft with him, and he had on this Casio plastic watch. I thought that was really baller because you knew he was super hardcore, but he did not show off. He just kept it very practical. Keep in mind, within the broader Goldman culture, there's going to be different subcultures within different offices. Like San Francisco is going to be slightly different than New York. For example, when I went and did an IPO out in New York for a summer, I remember I had to wear a tie every day. Everyone was a little more formal, but back on the West Coast, there's no ties. And because the TMT group is servicing tech clients and startups and VCs, which tend to be a little more chill, it's going to be a little bit more oriented towards that culture. And that's a reason why the investment bankers on the West Coast are a little bit more like their clients in tech.
Top 5 cons.
This is a piece that sometimes people miss, but is really important to keep in mind. 1, indirect feedback. Probably the biggest con I can think of, because Goldman is very professional, everyone's very polite, people aren't always as direct in giving you feedback. You really have to seek it out after you finish a deal or project or pitch. You really got to ask your associate VP, MD for any feedback so that you can keep improving. I know in some cases, people can be very positive, but then once you get your performance review, you might hear something negative. That's probably a place where they can improve or have been improving on, but being able to get more direct feedback more quickly. This is something I know a lot of companies just struggle with in general. 2, frugal. Goldman, and there's that prestige that comes with it and all the exit opportunities and the lifelong skills you get and the world-class network. They have this thing called the Goldman discount. In some cases, especially at the junior levels, you might get comped slightly less than the highest end within your band, let's say as an analyst. Generally, I would say that short-term Goldman discount is more than offset by having the Goldman experience and brand on your resume, the skills that you develop, the network. I think that is way more than any short-term discount. You do have to put up with Goldman being a little more frugal, whereas other banks might have more lavish parties. Goldman's going to be more practical and more humble, but overall, I would take that personally. 3, lack of expression. This is a con across finance and banking in general in this type of industry, where you go to a bank, you want someone that's buttoned up and extremely reliable and almost like a human calculator. You don't really want an artist advising you on your merger and acquisition numbers and your accretion, dilution, and your accounting. All banks will basically monitor your work emails and your work chats for compliance reasons. Because of that, personally, I always have to be on brand. And even outside of work, it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to have a YouTube channel where I'm singing covers on the guitar and expressing myself and being vulnerable. That just wouldn't be a good look in the office or with our clients. It didn't feel professional for being at a bank. If you're just a creative person, that's something to consider. There are ways around it, but that's just the nature of working in finance. 4, competitive. This is not really Goldman specific. Maybe it's amped up a little bit by being at one of the top firms in the world, but this is more of a con for finance and investment banking in general. Everyone that goes into investment banking, generally in my experience, can be very judgmental because everyone's competitive. Everyone's constantly ranking each other by the deals that they've worked on, the deal flow that their firm has, they're ranking in the league tables, the assets under management of their fund, etc. Everyone wants to be bigger and better and the best. If you're competitive, that's really awesome. But at the same time, personally for me, sometimes I would attach my self-worth to these rankings. And so my self-worth would go up and down with these rankings. And for me, that wasn't super healthy. But on the flip side, a part of me really loved the competition and loved being the best and loved dominating. It's a struggle that I've had personally that maybe other people in finance have. Another double-edged sword I would say is because you're at Goldman, you're working with the best people in the world. A lot of people that I've worked with in that office have gone on to do amazing things. Sometimes I will compare myself with them and not feel good. I'd say it's a double-edged sword because it can push you to be the best version of yourself. But if you compare and if you play that comparison game, which a lot of times in finance you fall into, you could feel bad about yourself. 5, workaholic. This isn't a Goldman thing. This is an investment banking thing, but just becoming a workaholic where your self-worth is defined by where you work. Being busy is your way of showing that you are valuable and contributing to the world. So you're always busy, always working. You're always prioritizing work over other things. If you cancel a trip with your friends or family, you say you have work because it becomes the default that work is more of a priority than everything else. But that's just something to be aware of when you get into finance, and especially investment banking. There are ways to manage around that. If you want me to talk about that more, definitely let me know in the comments. That's my personal experience. After hearing the pros and cons, and this sounds like something you want to get into, definitely check out my Goldman Sachs resume video here. I walk through my actual Goldman Sachs resume and I give you a free template. And if you want to go deeper and learn my exact structured process of how I got an offer from Goldman Sachs, TMT, and 8 bulge bracket banks, definitely check out my investment banking bootcamp in the link below. So what do you think about the Goldman culture based off of your experience talking to people, etc.? What do you like about it? Don't like about it? You can drop it in the comments below. Love yourself. Love others. Have an awesome day.